So I'm in the middle of practicing and I realized I need to change my A string. I thought I'd hit record and show you how I do this. First of all, I took the old string off by just turning this to the left until it loosened the string and I pulled it out. It was hooked down here at the bottom. And so I just got the little ball out of there and took off the string, and I will likely throw this away because it's coming unraveled at the top. So I don't want to save that. And then what I do is I just look at the peg box and I look for the little circle. I kind of rotate this, the large tuning peg until I can see the circle. And I have it pulled out just a little bit here, and I take my purple little side of the string and I thread it in until it hits the back of the peg box. And you can't hear it, but you can see how it kind of hits the back there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left thumb, I'm going to push it up against the side of the peg box, or maybe my first finger, no, my thumb. Yeah, like that. And then I'm going to take this and hold that there, see, against the side of the peg box. That's going to allow the string to line up really beautifully. Then I'm going to just start to turn to the right, righty-tighty. Maybe I'll hold it down here. Yeah, that's probably better. All right, yeah, that's easy, more easy. That's easier. Okay, and if I'm doing it correctly, which I am, the purple string is going to start to line up just beautifully. There's not going to be any overlaps or weird marks. Now, as I'm getting less and less string, oops, I went a little bit too far. See how it doesn't quite line down or line up down there? So I'm going to loosen it a little, just a little bit. Enough to be able to, nope, gotta loosen it some more. Okay, enough for it to be able to go through that little hole. All right, that seems to be long enough. Now I'm gonna thread it through. I got it in there. Just tuck it in and then kind of pull it. Well, maybe I'll hold it down there. Yeah, I'll hold it. I think it'll stay. And then I just start to tighten. I line it up in the groove. All right, looks like tension's working. All right. So now that I've got this secured down here and that in its proper place, now I'm going to start the tuning process. Now I like to protect myself. Let me pull up my tuner. I use the Tonal Energy Tuner app. It's really cute. It smiles at you when you're in tune. It's very sensitive when you're plucking as well, so that's really great. All right, so now I'm going to protect myself with my left hand so it doesn't pop up and hit my face. And obviously it's too low, so I'm going to start tapping it just ever so. Make sure I'm lined up correctly. And I'm going to just pluck, turn. Very little. Pluck, turn. Go up by half steps until you get near A. Now the reason I'm doing this so slowly is because I'm slowly stretching the string. If I just go right there, it's going to shock your instrument. It might even pop your string. Now I'm noticing my string is not as lined up as I want it to be. So I'm actually going to loosen this and fix the lineup a little better. There. I'm a little picky when it comes to that. I want all of those strings to be lined up. All right, so now it's looking good. And I'm gonna breathe a little. You hear it stretching little by little. I'm at G sharp. Finally at A, but I'm at -30. I want to get to like 0. See how it says -20? It's closer. All right. So now that I got it on, hooray. Now I just kind of wait a little bit. The violin has to get used to this new string, but then also the string is going to want to go back to its state of coiledness. So it'll want to unwind and go flat on me. So let's check where the pitch is. Look at that. It dropped 30 points there. So I'm going to loosen it. And then I'm going to tighten it. So I made it a little bit sharp. It's already dropping because it wants to recoil back to the lower side. Now I'm going to let that sit a little bit, and I'm going to kind of retune the other strings. Those kind of slipped. All right, let's check A again. Where has it settled? All right, -23. It's not -30 like it was before. Okay, so now stretched it out. It's at +1. That's great. Now I'm going to check my bridge. So sometimes when you readjust, I'm going to see if you can see this. Sometimes the bridge leans forward. This one doesn't look like it's leaning terribly forward, but it is leaning forward a little bit. So, let me see. I wouldn't recommend doing this just yet if you're just learning, but I do adjust my own bridge. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So this is what I do. I check the alignment of my bridge, make sure that it's still nice and centered, that it didn't lean too far this way as the string was being pulled. And then I'm going to check all the tuning again, because once I move that bridge, it kind of adjusts the tuning for everything. But again, I'm also waiting for this A to kind of loosen up and stay in place. So let me show you where I'm at with A. All right, so it did drop considerably, -30. Loosen it. Every time I tune it, I'm pushing in too. Okay, D stayed. G dropped to -12. Okay, and then E went sharp. So with E, I just use this little guy because if I can avoid E for the big peg, I do. Okay, let's check our A, see where it's coming. All right, it's holding pretty true. Might stretch it one more time. Okay, and I just tuned it slightly sharper. And it already dropped to 1. I think it's pretty safe to say that I can start playing on it now and it will hold its pitch. I'll probably still have to tune it about every 5 minutes today. As I'm practicing, I'll probably play about 2 hours today, maybe a little more. And then that's what I do. I try also not to change them all in one day, because that's not really nice. It's a lot of high maintenance, and the violin just goes through a huge kind of shock. So one string at a time. Maybe in a couple days I'll change my D. Maybe I'll record that so you can see that. But this is me changing out a string. It's what we do about every 3 months, sometimes more if you're playing a ton. And if you're not playing a ton, you could probably get away with every 6 months. If you're, I mean, you might be able to get away with every year, but I wouldn't recommend it. Your tone will suffer, and your strings might just go dead on you. So I would definitely recommend changing out your strings every 3 to 6 months. And then if you're playing a lot and practicing a ton, like every month. All right. So hopefully this helps.